LMG mounted and loaded!
Welcome to this edition of Chanka News Network. Today we'll be discussing the history and influence behind the brand new map, Themepark. Now, usually I have a little cinematic of the map and I look at the concept art to see how the map's changed. However, I can't make a cinematic with the TTS logo in the way, and at the current moment there is no concept art for the map. And obviously, Themepark isn't included in the tactical guide, however, there is an official description on the blog post announcing the map. The reason for Team Rainbow's intervention is clear. The SDU has identified this perimeter as being used as a criminal organisation's nest for narcotic manufacture. After establishing a connection with the Hong Kong Triad, 2 flying targets had chosen to lead a lethal raid in Themepark. The daytime ambience is a hot and humid afternoon in Hong Kong. Expect majestic mountains out in the far horizon wrapped in some low, heavy clouds. At night, the atmosphere is tense and intimate as you see flickering lights relying on old, deficient generators. It's still early in the evening when darkness is slowly embracing the shores of Hong Kong. So, having to skip the concept art, we can go straight into the real life version. From what I could find, there isn't any abandoned theme parks in Hong Kong. There is a roller coaster that hasn't been used, featured in a shopping mall, but that doesn't really match the aesthetic of this map at all. However, looking at China as a whole, there is a few abandoned theme parks. The one I think that is most likely to be based on is the People's Park in China. The park is half abandoned, which means that most of the site is unused, but for whatever reason that I can't figure out, some of the other rides and parts of the park are used just as normal. As you can see from the images, the park also shares a similar style with the same kind of cartoon animals, just like in the theme park map. I've also managed to find where the map would be located in Hong Kong. In the teaser images, which is also used in the loading screen, we can see a city in the background. The city is central Hong Kong, as you can see the International Finance Centre, the Hong Kong Exhibition Centre and the Shanghai K Centre, as well as other buildings. However, in the game we don't see the same skyline. We saw one large skyscraper surrounded by some smaller ones that don't really stand out. This seems to be the 2 International Finance Centre, which is just to the right of the skyline that we get in the teaser. Now onto why it's in the game. So, we know from the announcement at Gamescom that Team Rainbow are there to deal with drug dealers who are members of a cult. I don't think it mentions it anywhere else but the blog that the drug dealer cultists are Triads. Triads are a bit of a difficult group to cover. They started off as a secret society many years ago, and to this day are still very secretive. We know that they deal in a wide range of crime from drug dealing to contract murder, so the information I have on this may not be 100%, or it may only apply to one group of Triads rather than to all of them. However, in-game there's a couple things that point us to it being Triads. The first is the triangle symbol painted on the walls, and the name Triad comes from the group's use of triangles in their symbols. You can see one of the groups using the symbol in their logo here. From what I could find, the symbol seems to be made up of a fictional Triad group. The other giveaway is the altar in the same room. When I was looking through the map, with the people in my Discord, which you can find a link to in the description, I said that the statue reminded me of Guan Yu because of the Guandao, and as I played a lot of Dynasty Warriors as a kid. After doing some research, it turns out that I was right, and it was Guan Yu, as he's commonly worshipped in China, which is something that I wasn't aware of. Going on to Easter eggs. During the announcement of the map at Gamescom, one of the devs mentioned that this map features Easter eggs. The first one is outside the entrance to the building, and it's the head and the whole photo board featuring Ashton Sledge in cartoon form. Inside we can see the outline of Chanka's helmet on some of the soft walls around the haunted area. In the arcade room there is a few Easter eggs. There is a Rainbow Six Siege arcade game. The screen features a memorial to a Siege community member that sadly passed away. Another Easter egg in this room is there is an arcade cabinet featuring Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. I doubt this is anything, but I really hope this means that we'll be getting another Blood Dragon soon. In the haunted section, the broken piano will play a note when you shoot at it, similar to the piano in Consulate. In the drug storage room, there is a poster on the wall which is a reference to Hotline Miami. It features each animal mask from the game. One thing that's worth mentioning is the drug packets in the map. Most have the normal Triad logo, but there's a couple with a different logo. I can't quite figure out what this logo is, but I'm sure it relates to something. I'm sure there's more Easter eggs in this map, and if you find any or there's any info I missed, please let me know. I'll do a small update video of any extra information, and of course credit will be given. If you want to know more about the history of other maps, make sure to subscribe. If you want to stay up to date on the Siege news, make sure to follow me on Twitter, and if you'd like to discuss the maps, news or anything else, you can join the Discord, all of which you can find in the description. If you like these videos, you can also support me on Patreon, which is greatly appreciated. And thank you for watching. And as always, remember,
Chanka will always stand by you.